professionals.
Really?
For the phone number if people want to call in.
What time is it? 1-800 eat dick or something?
Dick snacks.
I like it. Yeah, I'm trying to find awesome stuff that I
Saved?
Yeah.
And now you forgot where you saved it?
Well, I don't. I just had a couple of just really quick thoughts that I thought were fucking hilarious.
So that over there, I don't know that we'll get into it today, but that's the soundboard for the phone next to you.
Oh, okay.
So that channel 3/4,
Mhm.
the white one is the phone volume. So I did test it earlier and it kind of balanced out. But what's good about it is anybody on the phone hears this. Everything coming through this goes to the phone. So they'll hear the show. And then their stuff comes through into the audio. So there's not, the phone's just kind of an intermediary.
Yeah.
Works really well. I used to do it before. I hadn't done it with a phone without a headphone jack. So I had to test it and get
over Bluetooth.
No, I got this adapter.
Okay.
So I just had to make sure. So if you guys do it, all you have to do is just do that into your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got that on my phone.
Yeah, but I have an adapter that goes from that to the charger thing.
I just never bring it anywhere.
Your dongle?
The dongle.
Is that what it's called?
It is called the dongle.
Fuck off.
I'm not kidding.
Anything that's like an adapter.
No, the adapter part.
Yeah.
That thing's a dongle.
Oh.
Like if you go into a computer, like VGA.
If somebody would, if
Whatever,
somebody was like stuck in an elevator shaft, was like, quick, hand me the dongle.
You're like,
They'd fucking die.
is
'Cause I'd
that?
be like, I don't know what it.
It's a fire alarm term too, because sometimes you need a dongle to hook up to a fire panel.
Good morning. Grab your dongles, everybody. We're
Fucking ready.
going in. We were teaching Ira what a dongle is.
Grab a hold of your dongle.
Apparently his parents never did.
I like how me and Aaron both were like, fucking, you've been watching too much Pat Menery. Pat Menery, the latest. What did he do? There was one where, or Bob.
You mean Bob Menery?
Bob Menery.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee.
Pat
Bob
McAfee,
Bob
Bob
Menery.
Yeah.
Bob Menery
I don't
does
know who
this.
these people are.
You have to follow on Instagram. If you do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, I do for the band.
Yeah.
So he shows.
So Bob Menery has a voice like this, and he's able to
like
he
a
just-
like
he
Brockmeyer.
does
He does-
yeah.
but he does it on.
Yeah.
It's like a
Yeah.
shtick thing that he
Yeah,
does
yeah.
for laughs.
So
right?
he'll show some highlight and he'll go, and here comes LeBron James, and wow, right in
Yeah.
the fucking balls. Like,
yeah, and he's like, "Well, Peter," and he's like, he acts like he's got his co-host and stuff. He's like, "Well, Peter, this one fucking sucks," and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's awesome. It's like the perfect mix between like that Harry Carey kind of character and then the guy from Major League.
There's a dude who used to go on Adam Carolla's show and do the same thing, and I can't remember his name.
Oh, really?
I gotta try and find it now, but
He's got one where every NFL week in and week out they do the shitbag titty fuck of the week. And it's like the guy who just completely lays an egg and throws 3 picks or something like that. And he's like, and Jameis Winston is this week's shitbag titty fuck of the week. And then he, which is funny because he's so crass. But Buffalo Wild Wings picked him up for their
oh really?
to be. So when you hear those commercials on TV, and he's like Buffalo Wild Wings, and it's like, well, that's Bob Menery. What the hell?
Yep.
But good for Bob. He's making himself some real money now.
Oh, this guy's Jeff Cesario. He's a comedian, and he does a character called Chet Waterhouse,
Chet Waterhouse,
and it's the same.
Perfect
It's the
name.
same thing.
Have you seen? So Joe Rogan talks about that guy on Instagram all the time. That's Kyle Dunnigan.
Yeah.
Have I mentioned that before?
Yeah.
He's got a new one on his Instagram. You got to check it out. It's Meghan Merkel. It's like, oh my god!
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Meghan Merkel. That's so fucking funny. And then he's like, and then the queen is just like, oh, that's blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, shut up, bag of bones, and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, and then I turn around and she was right there, oh, like F my L. Oh, shit, dude. He's fucking. I don't know where he gets it. That
I think
shit
he
is
does that one.
So
and
hilarious.
He does. Who else does he do? Kyle Dunnigan does a good. I think he does a good Trump.
He does a great Trump.
Yeah.
And then he does all of the Kardashians, including
Including Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner.
But yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does the.
Shut the fuck. Who is it that he's talking, or Caitlyn Jenner is talking to the daughters, and like all three of them, or two of them, and then Kendall, is it Kendall? All of a sudden pops up in her own little window and stuff. She's like, says something. They're like, "Shut the fuck up, Kendall." And one of them was like, "Meow meow." Is that the one that says meow meow?
I don't know.
Only can say meow meow. She's like, meow meow.
Well, yeah. So one of those, because one of the two twins, right? There's the youngest ones.
I don't know anything about it. Are there
Right.
twins?
Okay. But the number there's the two younger ones. Well, one of them is like a fucking billionaire.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
she's a
the
model
one
and every-
who
Well, what about
started
the
her
other
own
one?
makeup line.
Yeah.
or
Well,
something
the other
like
one
that.
looks exactly like fucking just like her. So I don't understand how
Yeah,
one
but
of
I
them is super famous and the other one's kind of unknown.
I thought she had a ton of plastic surgery and shit though. Like I thought that's kind of the scandalous thing about them is like one of
Yeah.
them,
About who?
the one who's super hot now and is super fucking rich, the Kardashian chick, whatever.
Haven't
like
they
the-
all had plastic surgery?
Yeah, but,
the
she's
two
like-
super young ones. Like during the show when Caitlyn was.
Oh, you
still
mean Kylie
Bruce.
and Kendall?
Is it Kylie and
Kendall?
Oh,
Yeah.
how
I
do you
just know
say
that. I just know they're
So
the ones that have
Kylie-
tried to look like the other ones, even though they're only half.
Oh,
Like they were
oh.
born Jenners,
Yeah.
but they've tried like fuck to look like Kardashians.
Well, yeah, that's true. The
Oh,
one
yeah,
does.
they're
She got her.
sisters. They didn't even think about
yeah.
that.
They're not
shit.
full sisters, so they've been
that's
like
why
busted.
then. Is the one does because she got lip
because the
job.
Kardashians are the lawyer's husband.
Yeah,
the
Robert
lawyer's
Kardashian's kids.
Kids, yeah.
they're Bruce
And then
Jenner's
the Jenners,
kids.
yeah, the Jenners and Kardashians. Yeah, that's right. Okay, no, it's
Yeah.
not fair. So Caitlyn is the hot one who
No,
has all the
Caitlyn
money.
is wow, dude. Caitlyn is the.
Caitlin's Bruce.
Oh, not Caitlyn. Yeah, yeah. Well,
I don't know how hot Caitlyn.
Caitlyn is
Hey,
the hot
that's-
one, guys.
That's what you're into.
to each their own.
Are you guys
Ira?
transphobic?
Jesus.
Let's
Sorry.
not start going down this road because I'm
It's
fucking
too
out of
early.
here if you
Sorry.
start that with me.
I apologize.
No,
Um,
but
The youngest one that has all the money, though, I think she used to kind of look like the other one and be kind of normal and just kind of like the rest of us.
I think
sorta
that's
ugly.
Kylie.
And now
'Cause
she's
she's the makeup, like has all the
Kylie, right.
makeup. She's a
and
billionaire.
now she looks
supposedly.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, you just
She's all plastic.
a fucking ton of plastic
I don't
surgery.
think
And
she
she's like
looks-
25 or something.
Yeah, but her sister didn't, or maybe she did. Maybe they both.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
saying.
I thought they
did
were-
not know they were.
We can do
twins,
some
though.
research. If
I
you-
thought they were beautiful before. I just thought that she went
Oh,
from
look at
looking.
you.
I
like
I
snowflakes,
honestly,
right?
a
Unique.
I
sensitive guy.
honestly thought they had the most beautiful faces, and then this I saw her recently, and I was like, she just looks like Kim. I don't understand.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
like
mean,
she
she
looks like
literally
she
just
really,
put, like,
yeah, she's really
took a
tried.
picture of her and said, "Hey, make me look like this."
Went to the
bitch."
doctor and was like, "Hey,
Yeah,
I know I'm only half this, but I want to be all this."
I don't get it personally. I
Well,
really
speaking of impressions, this isn't necessarily an impression, but so we've talked about this before. I'm a big fan of Kevin and Bean, who used to be on the radio. They've kind of retired
in
the-
LA or something.
Yeah, the show's over now. But they had a guy that used to come on, and he took over for Adam Carolla back in the day when Carolla left Loveline, and he started doing Loveline with Dr. Drew. His name's Mike Catherwood, and he was like Dancing with the Stars, and he's kind of LA famous for radio, and he does like a KABC daytime radio show with Dr. Drew still. But he does this character that he's done for years, and obviously being from LA, he does this Mexican dude who's like a Dodger fan, Raiders fan. You know, he's got like a gangster girlfriend. But he does this character named Rudy Cisneros. And so he used to like fake call into the radio shows and like, "What's up, fool?" You know, that shit.
Oh my god!
So-
is he a white guy?
Oh, he's
So this
well,
is super racist.
no, I think he's Latin somehow in his background. Like I think
Oh.
his dad's Mexican, his mom's white, kind of thing. But he's just funny, and he always puts a huge mustache on this character. But I want to play this one because he did a Christmas list, like he was writing a letter to Santa as Rudy about what he wants for Christmas. Let's see if we can get this to work.
Dear Santa Claus, what's up, fool? It's your boy Rudy, and I'm in a pinche predicament. I'm fucked. I know it's late, but I haven't got my wife, Martha, aka Sad Girl, nothing,
AKA Sad Girl.
and it's already Christmas Eve.
It's worth it, man. It's so good.
I already spent
Oh, thank you, Instagram.
all my feria on weed and Razor Ramon DVDs,
Razor Ramon DVDs.
eBay. Oh yeah, and gifts for my kids and shit.
I forgot that feria meant money. I forgot all these words.
That's why it's good. And Mike's funny as fuck.
I know I've been a good boy,
He's got a
Cool.
Raiders Santa hat on.
so
Yep.
can
That's an awesome hat.
you take your reindeer Ranfla to La Fedco or La Target,
Let
Or-
Target.
possibly like Walmart,
He calls it Walmart.
even Kmart,
Even Kmart.
Fuck this.
and get me 2 lip liners
What?
in the color of Passion Mongoose.
Oh, for scary
And
whoever.
2
lady.
eyebrow pencils in the color of Harvest Moon.
Harvest Moon.
For Sad Girl.
My
A
wife
Sad Girl.
loves it, and shit looks dope on her fool.
Fool.
While you're at it, can you and the elves make me a new toy? Because I can't find it nowhere,
Can't find it.
and I think it's a good idea. Okay, listen, fool. You know,
How long does this go
It's
on?
not very long.
Fucking A.
your head,
It's almost done.
I want Mr. Potato Dick.
Mr.
It's just like Mr. Potato Head, pero it's a dick,
It's a dick.
and you can put googly eyes and pinche lips
Cheek lips.
and dope cheekbones and shit on him. And I wish my legs were a little longer, like Obama's,
What?
because
Yeah, Obama is like 6'3", right?
He is?
From
I don't know.
deep
Maybe he's not.
in my Ben Davis.
He look a little frumpy in my Ben Davis.
Of course, Ben
Let-
Davis.
The Dodgers win the World Series, or just kill all other players on all other teams. Fool. Sincerely, Rudy Cisneros, East Los Angeles. That's what's up.
That's what's up. True, though.
Oh shit! Thank you. I needed to show you that.
fucking.
I know it's not Christmas, but goddamn, man.
Dodgers fans will fucking kill your ass. Remember that guy that got damn near killed? I mean, he got like his fucking skull caved in at a baseball game. I can't remember who the Dodgers are playing, but he showed up in the other jersey, and then like a group of like 4 or 5 Mexican guys.
Oh yeah, when
all
he was
fucked
it was
up
a
after the
Giants
game
thing.
and stuff. Was it Giants?
Dodgers and Giants are huge rivalries. So
Totally. Yeah.
some fan was taunting.
Some white
and
guy was
got
like,
mouthy.
"Oh yeah, well, what are you gonna fucking do about it?"
No, he died. Like,
Did he die?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, like
Brian something, and it's happened since then.
Really?
Like last season, it happened. Nobody died last season, but people get their ass beat all the time at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Just
don't
a
fuck around with
thing.
Those guys.
White people named Brian.
it's turned into
Kyle. Mind your own business, Brian.
it's turned into a pretty big,
Yeah.
pretty big, spot,
Issue.
I guess, for fighting and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, Rudy's funny,
Yeah. Check him out on Instagram, folks.
folks. So what else is new? I did have somebody listen to the show. A friend of mine called me yesterday and he's like, I've been listening to the Y-Pod. And, that's really cool. Thanks. He goes, you should just call it Misogyny Corner. He goes, that Ira guy just hates women, doesn't he? He's like, your whole show should just be called Misogyny Corner.
Yeah, it's.
I said, no, he just hates one in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She hates me.
That's
okay.
normal. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's
That's
be,
what it is.
Let's be real here.
Let's be real.
I was just reading an article on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn, folks, for if you don't know,
LinkedIn is just
Sucks.
Facebook
Is
for while
it?
you're at work.
that's all it is.
That's all this.
It's
I
professional Facebook.
I
and
literally
it's like-
deleted mine for that reason. I was like, this is
We had a training
yeah.
at work one time where a guy came in from corporate or whatever, and he was telling us about prospecting, and he's like real salesy guy and stuff, right? He's talking about prospecting, basically like the very beginning stages of making a sale, like getting in there and
yeah.
making cold calls and talking to people and selling them and shaking their hand and how to talk and how to communicate and all this kind of stuff.
Like Alec Baldwin, always be closing.
There you go. But this was more like just how to break down doors and everything. And he was like, you have to have a LinkedIn. You have to have a presence on LinkedIn. You have to be active on LinkedIn.
No,
All this
you
stuff. And
don't.
I'm like, and Bobby, my buddy who is kind of like my counterpart over there
Bobby from the East Coast.
from the East Coast. Hey, Bobby. Hey.
Hey.
I always tease him like that because I'm like, hey, Bobby. Hey.
I'm sure he loves that.
Yeah. He's proud of his New York heritage.
Sup,
Bobby's a pretty good salesman, and he's kicking ass and stuff, right? And he looked at this guy and stuff, and he's like, I don't have one. I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna get one. I'm like,
Yeah.
talking about,
Get that right after you get a TikTok account.
Yeah, and it's like I don't understand its usefulness. I still haven't. I mean, I suppose the only thing I've ever used it for is if I'm between jobs and I need to find what's out there and stuff. You can actually find job leads and stuff like that.
Yeah. So what did
But-
Discount Tony Robbins say to Bobby when he said he wasn't gonna get one?
Oh, I don't. Well, no, I'm not saying that he told him
Oh.
directly. I'm just.
I
saying
thought you were
he
gonna
told-
like set up a good
No,
fight story.
no.
Like they threw ties
just
came loosened
Like,
and
listen here, sales me McSaleser person.
Yeah. No.
I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want.
My only point was
My name is New York.
he's a successful salesman and he doesn't have a LinkedIn. I was like, oh my god, that can happen.
LinkedIn is
fucking
really
LinkedIn.
good if you want recruiters to find you.
Yeah, and that's
That's-
all it is.
that's
too.
what it
It's recruiters asking you if you're looking,
Yeah.
and people fucking
And
pelting
LinkedIn,
you with their
Dude,
their
they find me and
stupid
they're like,
ass
hey,
sponsored messages. I'm
Yeah.
like, has this ever worked for you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to answer your fucking stupid ass
That-
LinkedIn message.
and then like all of the the sponsored stuff, but
God, that fucking
the recruiters, the
pisses
sponsored
me
stuff,
off.
and then all the same reposted shit from Facebook that's posted
Yeah.
now is like
it's posted over there. They go copy the link and post it
Yeah.
into LinkedIn now.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but
dude, they called me. Somebody called
I wouldn't
me.
be surprised
or got
if Facebook owned them. Honestly,
I know.
I wouldn't
They
be
do.
surprised.
somebody got a hold of me and was like, hey, we got a couple of there's some people out there that want you, man. They want you. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, are you interested in talking to them? I'm like, well, not particularly. And they're like, hey man, it's good money in it. I'm like, okay. They're like, what do you need to make? You just throw a number out there. And I'm like,
Non-union?
okay.
I need
Yeah.
to make what I make now.
Well, yeah.
Times two.
I didn't
Yeah.
even, I was like, okay,
And then times that by two.
$100,000 a year. I just put,
Yeah.
right. And they're like, oh boy,
you're not
I
gonna
don't
get
know.
that out
I
there.
don't know if I'm no, and I'm
It's
like,
what were you fucking
do
calling
you-
me for?
why don't you just hop online
Yeah.
real quick and just see what electricians,
Yeah.
plumbers,
Yeah.
HVAC guys, all of us.
Yep.
We all make 100. What are you doing?
Yeah.
100 is
Yeah.
the starting point for
that's-
that.
yeah.
You're in this business and you don't have a clue what the median income is for a
That's
tradesman.
that's
I
the
was-
brand new
yeah.
guy that they're like, hey, go start calling all these people. You got to earn
Yeah.
your stripes around here.
So not only do I get to make
Yeah.
70 grand a year, I don't get a pension. Sweet.
Yeah, that's count me in.
I get to
motherfucker,
go
I'm in.
I get to have to
Um,
go into my boss's office every freaking twice a year and have an awkward conversation about how I deserve a raise.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes me think. I was actually talking to I went to a coffee shop today.
Gravity Coffee.
Best coffee.
Shouts out. Hey, Gravity Coffee guy, give us some money. We'll throw it out to our 50 fucking
No
followers
shit.
here.
Pay us some
Best
money, Gravity.
coffee other than Woods coffee. It's
Really?
Gravity.
Woods was damn good.
Woods is the shit.
Yeah.
There's one in Bellevue now.
Dank ass coffee.
Nobody
oh, no, that's
knows.
the
There's
first
two
one I
in
ever went to.
Bellevue. Yeah.
Yeah, there's two in Bellevue. 'cause there's
Nobody
one in
knows what
Lincoln
that
Square.
is.
Anyway, I was talking to because I showed
I
up
just
there.
told them, Ira.
Oh,
It's the
geez.
best coffee other than
I don't know.
I
I
showed up
like
there and I had this sweatshirt on, and they're like, "Oh, do you work at a Dutch Bros?" I was like, "No, I used to though." And they're like, "Oh, really? Where?"
Did you tell them you were too good for Dutch Bros?
Yeah.
Because
I
that's the real story.
I said I worked for corporate for a little while and stuff, and then I didn't get too much into it
Yeah.
and stuff.
You
but
should have
then
just told them the whole story.
No, I know. I just
Hold
hold
up the line.
So here's what happened.
There's 16
you know where
cars
Rented
behind
is,
you.
right? You know where Rented is. Okay. So
First of all, I couldn't go through
So
the
there I
drive-through because
was.
I'm pulling the trailer dick, so I had to get out. I was inside the store. Nobody was in there because it's 6 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
which
Anyway.
you must be Maple Valley. That's the only one that has an actual store.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
okay.
drive-throughs. otherwise.
Regional pod. Sorry, folks.
Anyway, I just started talking to these girls. I didn't go into the whole story, but then I thought about it after I walked back, and I thought, man, that was a pretty cool job. Working for corporate stuff, going around negotiating leases and stuff. It was pretty posh and everything, or
Pretty posh.
posh.
What
That's-
happened? Where'd you just dip off to for a second?
We were talking about
That's a weird word,
Kardashians
isn't
earlier.
it? I
It was
know.
pretty posh.
That was super
It
Kardashian.
was-
of
You have to say it with an accent if you're going to say it.
Like posh spice. Is that where you're going? Like
Well,
it's
posh
it's
is a
an
British
English-
word.
It is not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, all right. So
Hello, governor.
Not that British.
what I was
I'm from Manchester.
That's opposite of posh. And okay, never mind.
what I was trying to say
sound like
is
a
that-
sheep herd.
is that it was a fun job and it had good I don't know, it's like good work-life balance or whatever,
Mhm.
right? It wasn't too demanding and everything. But when it came time for me to decide what I was going to do with my career moving forward and stuff, because they were asking me at the time, like before the whole franchising thing fell through and I was
Yeah.
going to own a store, but then I didn't because it
Yeah.
all fucked up. They were like, well, you sure you want a franchise? Because you're pretty good at this. Maybe you just keep this job instead of franchising. It's a good job, right? And I was like, yeah, maybe, but
Yeah, but my white privilege isn't going to fully be extended if I just do this.
right.
to utilize this
I
thing.
need to be able to own a business and then hire minorities and subjugate them. And
Yes, to keep it going.
they paid me at the time. I was still making some money from other ventures and stuff, so it
Drug
was fine.
deals.
But they paid me $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
It was okay because it was only like a short
Yeah.
period. And it's like, well, okay, whatever.
And
But
you didn't even
they
really have
said,
to work.
You want to keep this job? And I was like, well, no, because I literally, guys, I can't support a family on $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
Do you think? And they're like, oh, well, I mean, and I said, I might think, or if I could possibly think about doing this moving forward, it would have to be at least 70. And that's barely paying my bills. And
Yeah.
they were like,
And that's because my
Sad.
wife works too.
oh God. I mean, yeah. And my boss was like, well, come on here. We can't do that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
do you really? Like
Dude.
that is not very much money, especially for up here. But that's the funny thing. And who knows where that recruiter guy was calling from and shit. He could have been from fucking Minnesota or something where nobody makes dick.
Mm-hmm.
They were down in Grants Pass, Oregon,
Yeah.
where
The
you
cost
can
of
buy
living,
a house for $125,000.
Exactly.
I'm like, dude, this is Seattle. I'm like, the median income in my neighborhood where we're at in Maple Valley is $90K, and that's the median. Like,
And you're like, I'm not average.
if you
bitch.
want me to make half of that, like,
Yeah.
dude, you guys are nuts. Like, don't you look at the scale and kind of go, because you can find that shit online with a quick Google
It's- yeah,
search.
it's
What the
way easier just
No
to call someone
shit.
and make an ass out
Regional-
of yourself.
regional, median income is.
I've been here 8 years though, and the dynamics of the economics have changed a lot in the 8 years I've been here.
Yep.
So I mean, I get it. It's very closely behind to San Francisco and some of these others as far as
oh yeah,
cost to survive. I mean, I'm way out here in the the suburbs, and it's still, I mean, you still got to pull 100K if you're going to survive around here. Just the tolls and the cost,
Totally.
just the cost of living is, you know. And I don't do anything extravagant. I mean,
look at me. I'm barely getting by. Like I had to go get a fucking side job real quick here recently just because I needed some extra money. It's like, and I don't make bad money, and I get great benefits, and I get
It's
nuts,
if you
dude.
want to have a life and you want to have a decent like
you
all
better
of
be
this,
making somewhere closer to
all of
150.
this stuff. Otherwise,
robbing homeless people, is that what you call a side job now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what was I just
Maple
gonna say?
Valley Robin Hood.
I want
I like it.
to. Speaking of just the,
I didn't know you had a side
levels-
job.
Oh, you didn't?
No, what do you do?
Oh, I thought we already talked about this.
Maybe we did.
I haven't been talking about it a ton because I'm not super proud that I'm going to get.
Well,
a
let's
second
just
job and stuff,
shine a light on it
or
then.
that I had to, and my wife is super fucking pissed about it.
Well, you don't have to, right? I mean, you did because you want to maintain race life. Gotta
kind of, but
keep
I do
those cars
not.
fueled up.
Yeah, I do not want this to be permanent though at all. It was just a kind of a thing where I let some credit cards get a little too high and shit like that, and I looked at all my finances, which I do. I mean, I keep track of my finances pretty good, but I kind of let it slip for a few months there, and I looked at everything, and I was going, I'm not paying down these balances at all.
Yeah,
and I'm like, fuck. I've had a few short, slow months at Siemens, and I didn't sell a few projects for a little while, so I wasn't making commissions, so I was only getting the base salary, and I was going, all right, well, I got to do something for like 6 months. I got to go out and get a second job. So I went and got a bartending gig.
Oh, that's good. No, that's good. We didn't talk about that, did we?
Not on the show, no.
Okay.
I guess.
Well, I'm
not.
sorry to out you, but
That's all good.
I'm impressed. Now I know where to go drink.
Yeah. So I told Don. So we got into a bit, as husband and wife do. Sometimes we got into a bit of a scuffle over the holidays because the holidays were a little pinched because we were trying to figure out how to buy gifts and stuff, and we were overextended a little bit. And
You guys pulled it off, though. I saw the pictures.
Yeah, we pulled it off. Thankfully,
You're good.
But I basically told Don,
your children still love you.
I got another job, and it starts like tomorrow.
Oh, you just got a job and then told her, "Hey, I got a job." Oh, that goes over well.
It did not go over well.
Wives
at all.
love that.
So, by the way, here's a thing I'm doing that we didn't talk
So I was
about.
like, see ya. And she was so pissed that I didn't talk to her about it. But she's a little better with it now. But yeah, so basically I get off work at my normal job, and then I go and
Once she sees that feria,
Do
she's
that.
happy with it.
The feria, Holmes.
but anyway, yeah. Because of the way that the affluence level has gone up around here, home prices have gone up
Yeah.
and everything, and it's like
Yeah.
I want to sell my house and just rent a place for a while so bad.
Oh
Good.
yeah, absolutely.
Good,
Cash
but
out,
the
bruh.
shop that you would need for all those cars is pretty extensive.
I know.
I don't know if there's any rental houses.
We would have to
That's
both.
the thing. You would have to.
We'd have to both do it and then both like also rent a shop or something.
I know.
You know, we've talked about this before.
I know.
Yeah. Have we?
We've talked about
Yeah.
buying a
But-
big piece of property, and
But I don't want to. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I get. Yeah, you have.
I mean, you have to bury both your wives on it because they would never.
I want
go
to
for
take.
it.
I want to take
Yeah.
that chunk of cash and invest it or something. No, it's like I'm sitting on.
Well, there
a
you
few
go.
hundred
I mean, you
grand,
take
and it's
your-
Tesla stock keeps going up.
Did you know that there's something called real estate subscriptions? Do you know what a subscription? Have you ever even heard that term in real estate?
I've heard of a
No,
per.
but I've heard of
and
the
you can get a lot of hot chicks if you
You
got
know
a
what's-
prescription.
Yeah,
for a couple different
that's true.
real estate. Shit, there's a 4-letter acronym for something that is basically like buying-
REIT.
Yeah,
But that's
real
big
estate
banks and
investment
shit
trust.
that do
Yeah, where
that,
you're you're buying shares of a building.
It's like that.
basically. Yeah.
Subscriptions is like that, but for like mid-level rich guys,
Okay.
right? REITs is like fucking Chase Manhattan, fucking all these,
Okay.
Boeing, fucking.
So it's the same
employees
neighborhood
and
of
bullshit
of
like that, right? Yeah.
Except you own mini marts and
So
cleaners.
yeah, you get if you get around,
Would you like to buy some stock in this Circle? It used to be a Circle K. Now it's a Circle M.
There
Would
you
you
go.
like to buy some shares in that?
It's funny how if you get around people that are just a couple of ticks above you in the financial strata,
Yeah.
you talk to them and you learn all these crazy shit. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what you fucking rich people do, and it's like the rest of us normal folks have no idea.
It's all about
It's like,
access, man.
What the fuck?
Access to
So
information.
if you take your cash after you sell your home and you're sitting on 100 grand and just like, what am I going to do with this money and stuff? It's like I could go throw it in the stock market or something, or I could make literally, a 40% return
Mhm.
every year, or at least 25%
Cocaine.
by by buying like a 10,000, you do 10,000 at a time or whatever, but you buy a share of this project where they go over and they buy this strip mall or
Yeah.
something,
For sure.
and then they, that pays dividends. It does all this shit where there's
Mhm.
like, there might be 50 to 100 guys that own shares in this thing, and I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, you're just pooling into instead of buying the thing yourself. Yeah.
So I was talking to a guy at work, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I own a little bit of this property in San Diego, I own a little bit of this property over here, a little bit of this property over there." I was like, "You fucking prick."
And the light
Wow.
bulbs just.
So yeah,
ding.
that's
Yeah, so I'm like, I want to sell my house. I want to sell my house. I want to
Yeah.
sell my house now.
oh my god, dude! I
Couple
asked
grand.
I asked the kids. I mean, I was like, "What do you think about this? What if we moved into a place with a swimming pool?" And they're like, "Yes." Well, they don't know that it's in a
motel.
it's in a
Yeah. There's a
motel.
place called Beaumont Apartments in
Yeah.
Lakewood
Yeah.
that has a swimming pool.
Dude, well that there's a spot right across the street from you that's brand fucking new and it's beautiful, dude. It is beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Vaulted ceilings and it's
Oh, a new house.
workout.
No, an apartment complex.
complex that's fucking
Yeah.
plush.
Yeah.
So as
And-
long as you did that and you could rent some shop somewhere, you'd be fine. It's like I got my
Yeah.
garage, I got my house. Yeah, dude, I would do it in a second. And it with the other thing too was, so I've been talking about
You say that. You say that.
Yeah.
I lived in an apartment before I moved here, and I hadn't been in an apartment for years. So when we were younger, when you lived in an apartment, you were a fucking loser. Like
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if you had an apartment, you didn't have a wife, like, or you were
Totally.
just poor.
Sure.
Apartments from then until 10 years ago have changed dramatically. Now buildings come with, gyms. They come
Oh, yeah.
with, laundry
and they're
service.
not cheap either. Out here, they're
No.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah.
It's like it's not.
But I did that, and I thought the same thing. I was right in the middle of. I was in Issaquah Highlands,
in
right?
Issaquah. Yeah, that was
a nice-
shopping. You can walk to everything and all that. It's really awesome until you hear the person above you. Their
Mhm.
fucking smoke detector needs a battery, or they're somebody that comes and goes at different hours of it. You think it's fine because your personal space is fine, but it's the everything around you that'll make you want to murder people.
I was talking to Dawn about wanting to sell her house and stuff, and she's and we've since like moved the conversation past this and stuff. And I think she's understanding what I'm saying now and everything. Not that I was trying to mansplain her or anything, but
I got a new job, and we're selling the house.
Misogyny
misogyny
corner.
corner. Welcome to misogyny corner.
Did you slip that in? Like,
on my pod?
do you get her upset about the new job and then go, "Oh, by the way, we're selling the house"?
Yeah,
So the
yeah. You
impact
gotta,
is lower.
yeah,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
get her,
at least
get
you
her
have
up here and
strategy.
jab. Hey! But I was listening to Your Mom's House podcast I've been talking about. Right? They had what's his name from Shark Tank, the black guy that did Fubu. Damon
John.
He was on there, and
Damon with 2 D's.
because I was talking about selling the house and renting a place for a while, right? And,
Yeah.
And Dawn was like, "You cannot do that. That's the stupidest financial thing to do ever. You have to buy a house. You can't rent. You're throwing your money away. That kind of thing."
Yeah.
And Dame and John, they were like, "So, what's his name? God damn it, fucking
Segura?
yeah." Tom Segura was saying how
That's a weird guest for them, it seems like.
totally. Yeah, but they're big fans of the Shark Tank show, I guess, and so they had him on
Yeah.
and stuff. But he was like, "What should I do with my money and stuff?" And he was like, and he said, I heard somebody say like a lot of the rich people and stuff don't even own their own homes." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's totally thing. A lot of rich people, they just
Lease them.
they buy property but they rent it. It's all rental properties, and their
Yeah.
own place that they live in, they just rent." And I was like, "Ha!" Like I wanted to tell Don so
You
bad. I was like,
pause
"Come
it,
here and
you
watch this.
run up
Come here
to
and
it.
watch this."
Look at this.
Because that's the thing. They say let other people pay for your debt,
Mm-hmm.
and then the place where you live, you don't have any debt. It's like that's fucking beautiful. If the only thing that you did was you lived in an apartment and you rented, you never bought a house, you never invested your money at all. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a totally different thing.
For people whose only investment in their entire life is a home, yeah, they better fucking buy a home. Otherwise, they have nothing when they retire.
Yeah.
But if you're the kind of person who's investing regularly and stuff,
Diversified.
if you're properly diversified,
No, it
there's
makes-
no
it
reason
makes
why
sense.
you need to buy a house. So
The only challenge I think for that, and I guess if you have the kind of lifestyle where you can move around, is if you're raising a family
Yeah.
and your kids are in a school district and some of those things, because you never have control if someone wants to sell that house. You don't know what kind of control or what kind
True.
of financial situation they're in. So they have a bad night at the casino or something. Now they got to sell the house and you're kind of fucked.
oh yeah,
That'll upend your life, but it's not anything you can't deal with.
that
It's like, hey kids, we're going to toughen you up. You're going to a new school.
Yeah. That place that my folks rented in Renton was like that, where all of a sudden the guy just quit paying his mortgage and they were foreclosing on him and stuff. And they were like, basically, you guys got to move out.
Yeah, that'll
This place
happen.
is about to get fucking repossessed, or whatever.
But I mean, your
foreclosed on.
parents rented for a decade, and now they just bought something.
that other place, yeah,
Yeah.
and that was fine. Yeah, so everything worked out
So,
there.
I mean, sounds like a similar smart theory.
Yeah.
Your dad balls out, so
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
that was a little different because he wasn't like, well, I guess in a way he was investing his money and he was buying
Same
other
idea.
property at other places and shit and investing in their business. But yeah, anyway, there you
Anyway,
So when do you
Sell
sell
your
the
house.
house? You putting the house up on the market?
go. I don't know.
Have you sold the wife on it yet?
you sh- he
The
doesn't have
shitty
to.
thing is,
That's not the Aaron MO. He'll just sell it and tell her, and then she'll have
by the
another
way,
I'm
crisis.
sure she has to sign that paperwork. So no, I
Oh.
cannot do that. But
Oh,
These are the new tenants.
I got the house in
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah.
I don't need anything.
sold
from
this to them.
Really?
I could could.
no,
sell
that'd
off
be the
another-
funny thing is just rent it out and say,
yeah, but
well,
you'd turn up dead, Ira.
yeah,
That's probably true.
Aaron could escape with his life. You'd be dead.
we might refinance. We're looking at refinancing right now. That's the shitty thing though. It's like we're refinancing now, and I kind of want to. I'm divided on selling, and it's like if we refinance now. You kind of got to wait it out for a couple of years before you do something else with it. And I don't know.
You are in the perfect like
necessarily into it.
Pleasantville cul-de-sac
True.
too. It's all like cops and
But I tried to pull my motorhome and my trailer down into the cul-de-sac. In order to do that and I'd never turn around in there. It's impossible because it's so long. I had to back out down my entire street. It
yeah.
was fine. The next door neighbors are getting a bunch of pavers installed.
Okay.
A bunch of paver. I'm talking like a $20,000 fucking crazy ass patio job and shit like that with all these pavers going every which way and stuff. The gentlemen that were doing this work decided for the second time in a week that they were going to pull all three of their full-size pickup trucks and a trailer down into that cul-de-sac and park right next to the fucking, like in every fucking whatever way they could fucking squeeze it near
yeah.
the driveway of my neighbor's house.
Landscaper
and
Jenga.
fucking leave them there.
Yeah.
So I come backing down. They have one truck that's parked in the fire lane over here, and then two other trucks, one of which has a big ass fucking trailer.
I could picture this.
And I got out and I was like, "Hey, can you guys move the fucking truck?" And they're like, "Whoa, what's the?" What? I'm like, first of all, that's in a fire lane. Second of all, why do you need three trucks down? You guys can't park three trucks. See that big ass thing? I have to pull this into that spot right there, and I can't do it with all your shit here.
You were asserting your white privilege.
Oh my god, I was so pissed. And normally I don't get that.
That was
uppity
you
with
were like
people.
male Karen right there.
Yeah, and so they're like, "Well, I mean, I guess." I was like, "Guys, you can't park three trucks. Park your fucking truck up there and walk your happy ass down to the job site. You don't have to park right here. Three fucking. I mean, they were
You
out
slam the door and storm away. too.
into the into the middle of the cul-de-sac. They were taking up the whole cul-de-sac.
I'm
like,
contacting the
how do you figure
HOA.
this is okay. Oh, dude, yeah. I love my neighbors, so I didn't want to do something like that, But it's kind of like, yeah, that's what's going to happen because some other asshole who's maybe not willing to go out and just say, "Hey, move your fucking truck." Instead, they'd be all passive aggressive about it and call the HOA president and get them all in trouble.
Are you ashamed of what you've become? You know what you should have done is just park the motorhome and the trailer right in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Fired up the race cars and just drove them down the street into the trailer.
Great
And go,
idea.
hey, this is what you've made me do. Look
Yep.
what you've made me do.
Yep.
Do burnouts, and
Yeah.
because that would be necessary.
But they took forever too, and it was just pissing me off because they honestly were just obviously dragging their feet and stuff because they were. But anyway,
Yeah, I know what you're saying
And
because
then I was
would
yelling
never.
more.
I always feel so self-conscious and so like, oh man, I want to piss everybody off, and so yeah, I'd be that guy that parks far
Yeah.
away. And so when people don't do that, you're
Yeah.
like, hey,
it's
asshole,
like you don't
come
have
on.
any consideration. I would have
Yeah.
not done that. I'm nice to you. I'm nice to society. Why can't you do the same
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
No, completely.
That's the point.
And then I came back out and I was like, "Look, sorry for yelling, guys."
oh no, you just made it worse.
Here's some cerveza.
Three
Here's some lemonade.
trucks.
I apologize.
I said three truck because I didn't actually say the three truck thing before, but then when I finally came out, I was like, three trucks is too many. You got to figure out something different. And they're like, "It's okay, senor."
Now it's racial.
That's what he said.
I know. I'm making money for sad
Today is
girl.
our last day on the job, so I was like, "Very well, have a nice day, guys." Because at that point, what the fuck? Who cares, right?
Yeah.
It's
and then they came back
they
for 3 more days.
fucking preach at you. If I'm never gonna see you
Yeah,
again, I
don't do this
care.
again. Well,
Yeah.
clearly
The
they're
next
not.
house you go to, you
I'm gonna write a Google review on you.
really give a shit.
Do you guys know what Yelp is? Huh?
But I'm low key kind of thinking also maybe sorta that the neighbors that I love these guys. They're the greatest.
They're gonna
neighbors
sell
ever.
their house.
No.
Oh.
I'm going to judge them a little bit, and I feel bad saying this, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
I hope they listen to the show.
I know.
They
hope
don't. Don't worry.
Probably not. Kind of wish maybe they were a little more considerate too.
Oh wow.
I know.
Dropped it. He dropped
Fucked
the.
up, right? Because if I had a contractor at my house doing work, and I
He's
looked
going
out
full Karen.
my window,
Full Karen Potter right here.
I would say I want to speak to the manager. I looked out my window and saw 3 trucks taking up the entire cul-de-sac. I, being the courteous neighbor, would probably go outside and say, "Hey, listen, guys, you're the contractors working for me. All the trucks parked out here. Not really cool for my neighbors. Let's be good neighbors.
Maybe they just thought you were cool.
Take
and they
2 of
didn't
those
have to do
trucks,
that.
move them the fuck out there, and fuck off."
Yeah.
But they didn't.
No,
Now
probably because it's.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the
no.
doubt and say maybe my neighbor suddenly had cataract issues and was
Didn't see
blind.
them.
Maybe he's blind and he didn't see them.
Maybe they didn't think it was a big deal. Maybe they didn't expect a motorhome and race car trailer in the street.
That's also true. So
So
obviously, I'm a bit of an asshole too for even attempting
well, that's why we're
to pull
friends.
a
Come on
37
now.
foot plus a 24 foot.
Yeah, let's not leave that
Do
out.
that math, and I'm pulling it down into a fucking cul-de-sac. I got no business doing that. And then as I'm backing into my
There's the
driveway,
self-awareness.
and there's the big ass motorhome stretching out into the middle of the fucking cul-de-sac, right? But I'm obviously like unhooking the trailer and then I'm pulling it the fuck out. I don't
Yeah.
leave it there.
Well, of course.
but
You're
my
not a
other neighbor,
landscaper.
the other neighbor on the other side, is at that very time that I got everything fucking out there, comes pulling out of her driveway, and she has to like kind of pull around me and stuff to be able to get out. And I was like, oh shit, I'll see it there.
You
I'm
feel
an
real
asshole too.
small.
But she doesn't care.
Well, I'm
And
glad that story ended well.
she hit my truck one time when she was backing out. She scraped my bumper. So, and I didn't charge her for a new bumper, so she can fuck off.
You need to
She
go
owes me.
full American Psycho on your whole cul-de-sac. It sounds like.
It's a great place, like
And
you
just-
said.
No, I'm just saying,
American-
imagine murdering everyone, but then don't really do it.
totally.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's a very picturesque, very
Hand them a
great.
business card and
All the houses are nice. All the neighbor, we all get along fantastically.
yeah, to your faces.
But oh yeah, that's probably true. But I really want a piece of property that I don't have to fucking worry about pulling my motorhome and shit down.
do you
into
have
my
one of those like
fucking cul-de-sac,
neighborhood
for
Facebook
shit's sake.
groups? Like for
No.
your housing development? I bet you do. You're just not in it.
Yeah.
They all talk shit about you.
They're like taking
Those
pictures of the
fucking
motorhome.
people with the
This
race cars.
motherfucker again.
They're like, once again,
You know what's funny
we all
too?
know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know who.
Blah.
We're the one.
Nobody let
family-
them in this group.
We're the one. So everybody else that's on our street, I mean, we've been there for quite a while, and so we've kind of outlasted half of our neighbors or so. The other half,
5-6 years, right?
yeah. The other half were there from the fucking get go when the houses were built, right?
Yeah.
So there's a few people that were there before
The
us.
old money.
But we bought our house on a short sale. So
Oh,
it was
that's right. I
cheap.
remember
as
you told
fuck.
me that.
We bought it for like $300K.
And you have one of the bigger ones too, don't you?
Not bigger. It's pretty average for that. There's some that are bigger than ours. There's like 3,000 square foot houses.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like,
Holy
Holy
shit.
fuck, dude.
That's crazy.
29 or something. Anyway,
In a cul-de-sac too. That's
Yeah.
huge.
but we got it on a short sale. Everybody else, even the people that bought before us, bought for more than like 400 grand or so. We
Yeah.
bought for 100K cheaper than that. There are other people that paid close to 600 grand for houses there.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, like 595 the last person bought. So we're the one house on this entire street of 17 houses that like paid nothing for a house. We're like the poor people
Yeah. With all the
block-
race cars.
on the block
Fucking Beverly Hillbillies.
that have
How do you
race
think
cars
I
and stuff
afford
out
these
on the
race cars?
yard.
I don't have your mortgage.
Yeah.
So if there's a Facebook group where people are talking shit about me, I'm sure that we would be the ones left out because we're the poor people on the block.
Either that or
It's
a
hilarious.
LinkedIn group. One of the two.
Yeah. Make it more professional, guys. You
Step
gotta
up
get on
your
LinkedIn.
game.
I
You want
like
to talk shit about your neighbors? You want to do it in a professional way?
LinkedIn. Hey,
LinkedIn.
so I got to shout out my
Shouts out.
buddy Zach. Just had Zach Reynolds. Shout out to you, buddy. Had a baby last night.
baby.
Did he push out his dick?
He did it.
Baby.
It was amazing. first time ever a man gave birth.
Wow.
He
His-
pushes it out of
his
his asshole. You
His
asshole.
woman, yeah, come on, it comes out the pooper.
Don't you know
like
anatomy?
like a chicken. So no, his woman actually, but yeah. So congrats, buddy.
Good job, buddy.
Okay.
Making the human race one person.
One person
Bigger.
at a time. Hey, speaking of that,
Except for all the people that died on the same day.
Well,
there is a fascinating new podcast out by the folks over there at Radio Lab. We just talked about them.
It's not this
Off
one.
air. Off air, we talked about them.
In our personal
It's called The
conversations.
Death Count or The Death Toll or The Death Something. And it's
Okay.
about how somebody asked the question. Let me get you guys to take, because in my mind, I was like, you fucking idiot. Of course not.
Is it like the "Don't fuck with cats" you warned me about? Because I watched that
Did you?
on your recommendation.
Wasn't it great?
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
This one is where somebody asked the question, are there more people alive right now? Because there's how many people on Earth? 7.6 billion people, I guess, on the planet
Yeah.
right now, right? Are there more people alive right now
Than have ever lived.
than have ever lived or died?
Yeah.
Like all of the entire death toll, and like
Are there
all of
more
the
people-
skeletons buried in.
I've
this
heard
planet.
that statistic. I don't know how true it
there
is,
more
but I've heard
people-
that statistic thrown around.
it's not lived or just to be clear, it's are there more people alive right now than have ever died?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, lived or died, you have
No.
the current
Have died.
population.
Yeah. So the way
Thank
that
you,
they
Ira.
the way
Wow.
that they
I mean-
posited it. He's right over
I don't
there.
know. He's no. I don't know. Oh, there he is.
You little cute kid.
Good. Well, Leah's downstairs for you.
Hey, kiddo.
Someone woke up.
Yeah.
Morning.
You wake up in a pretty good mood.
I know.
I'm impressed.
And with makeup on from yesterday. That's how you do it.
So the
So-
idea was, the way that they asked the question on the website or on the podcast was, if you took all of the people who died and you put them in a pile, and then you took all the people that are currently alive and put them in a pile, which pile is bigger?
Well,
Now,
the
what would-
pile now because everybody's fatter nowadays.
Not bigger in size.
Well,
He's like, how many kgs?
Number. And I would think that was obvious, but I want to get you guys' take on it.
I listened to it also, so I'm not going to cheat.
You did?
well, no.
Yeah.
I mean, are you asking if that's a real statistic?
No, I want to know which. So
Just
they
which-
say,
which
they
is bigger?
ask which one's bigger. In your mind, if you were to guess,
How many?
are there more people alive on Earth right now, or are there more people that have died?
I've heard the statistic before, and it's one of those things where you go, yeah, okay, that sounds passable. So I haven't given it a lot of thought.
Yeah.
I would think that there's probably more people alive now, the 7.6 billion number, than total people who have died.
Really? When I heard that, I thought, no fucking way.
Yeah.
No way is that
Yeah.
even close. I thought there has to have been like 7.6 trillion people who have died, and we're talking about 200,000 years of evolution of people living and dying and everything, right? So I thought there's no fucking way it's even close. Way more people that have died,
No.
but
Nope.
it's not. Yes, it's a lot closer than I fucking thought it was. There's still more people that have died, it turns out.
More people who have died, yes.
Oh, there are?
Yeah,
So I'm wrong?
yeah,
That was a
but
nice way of letting me down easy.
Like,
But-
idiot.
I was wronger in the fact that I thought that
New word?
the disparity would be massively more in favor of
That'd be like
People that
300
died.
billion to 7 billion.
yeah, something
So-
like that.
so
'Cause I
what-
thought you think about
what are the numbers?
all the people. So right now
Keep me
on
in
Earth,
suspense.
the number of people living. No, wait. So it's different depending on how you measure it, right? Because they did the entire Earth, and then they did the lower 48, they did continental United States or something, North America.
Sounds
Yeah.
like they're making it confusing.
I think on the entire world, it was like the number of people living right now, or something like, what was it? Was it 30? I don't even remember.
So it was roughly 200 billion people have died. And now we're at 7.
Right. So it was less than 10%.
Maybe it was
That was
100.
100%?
Maybe it was over 100.
It was less than 10%. I want
You're
to
really
say.
selling this podcast, gents.
Yeah. No, it's
Yeah.
fast. I love Radio Lab. Fucking hell. But
So-
in the lower 48, it was the number of people living right now is 70%. 70%
Yeah.
of the total number of people that have died. So that's way closer, and they're saying
in that area.
in
the lower
our
48.
country, yeah, like
Yeah.
in-
Well,
So-
that's because we're the last ones to get settled. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
that's what's crazy though. Is
like
is
if you go to
the-
China, I'm
but-
sure it's way
Yeah.
different.
but not
They've only
even
been in the lower 48 for like 15,000
but
years.
it's interesting
Yeah.
just because in the West there just was no fucking people
Yeah.
No fucking people.
until only maybe
So and we're
Native
supposed
Americans.
to
1,000. No, that's the thing is there wasn't even them.
Well,
they
no, but-
came over from the east,
Yeah.
right? But society had to grow for thousands
they're
of
saying
years.
agriculture had to keep up. I mean,
Mhm.
everything had to like. So they were talking about it's fucking. You gotta listen to it. It's fucking fascinating. They're talking about the Bering Land Bridge, right? It's like
Mhm.
we all know about the land bridge, right? And you have this idea in your mind, or maybe you don't, but I
Like the one
certainly
from
did.
Sarah Palin's house to Russia.
Exactly.
Okay.
That you had this idea, or at least I did, about these people coming over from Asia. It was the Bering Land Bridge, and they kind of like skedaddled over here real quick. Like, oh look, it's the Ice Age. Now there's land here. Let's go. Hurry up, guys.
Oh no, it was a slow.
It was like 10,000
Yeah.
fucking years.
Yeah, they're probably camped out on the bridge for a minute.
Years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like centuries. Fucking.
Yeah.
That blew my mind because it wasn't just this tiny, like thin land bridge where they're like, whoa.
No, yeah, it was like 1,000 miles south.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was crazy. It was
just-
like the entire North Pacific was all land, and it was lush green, like flowers and animals and what do you call that?
Except for
Flora
all
and
the
fauna.
except for all the dinosaurs.
Yeah. Well, I think there were massive at that point.
Because
It wasn't-
dinosaurs and people.
It wasn't Yeah. Well, they all existed at the same time, obviously, because the Bible says so. Jake.
See the saddle on the
I
saddle on the Velociraptor.
this
Mhm.
this theory you're giving me doesn't jive with my 6,000-year-old Earth theory that I know to be true from the Holy Word.
This is awkward because I totally said 15,000 and I didn't think about Jake's.
You're offending my sensibilities and everything I've learned.
Well, obviously, everybody knows the Bible is a scientific text,
Of course,
so I understand where you're coming
to
from.
be taken literally.
Yeah.
No, that is fascinating though. And did they give any sort of? Is this like a serial podcast where there's a bunch? Or was it just one episode?
No, just one.
One episode.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering then, did they give a point like on the axis or on the graph where it will cross?
2030. Oh, 20. Yeah, 2030.
So we're rapidly approaching.
We're
that
almost
anyway.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to the point where there's more people.
The
on.
world population has tripled within the last 75 years.
Yeah,
that's
fucking
wild.
nuts.
I'm so glad I'll be dead in 40 more.
40,
I don't
huh?
have to deal with any of this shit anymore.
I don't know, buddy. In 40 years, scientific advancement's gonna fucking keep you alive way longer than that.
Yeah, you're either
probably
going to
live another
download
80.
your shit into a hard drive and just keep living forever, or they're just going to be growing new body parts when your other ones fail. I don't know if I want to do that though.
You ever think? I mean, I sometimes think about Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, my poor kids. Like, what? Oh my God, what
They're
have I
gonna-
done? Like, I maybe shouldn't have had you. You're gonna
Yeah.
suffer immensely. But
There's
I
going to be
mean,
no food,
who
terrible
knows?
weather.
Yeah, who knows? But
Eventually, they're all gonna be eating the Matrix slop anyway and stuff. They'll figure that out.
That vitamin soup or whatever that was.
one thing that's totally unrelated, I just thought about that you guys need to look up. Okay, everyone listen. to
Okay.
me. Everyone is well
stop
aware
what
of
you're
Doug.
doing.
We're looking it up.
And
Everyone's
listen.
well aware of Doug Stanhope and his amazing comedy. Well,
Yes.
Doug Stanhope did on his last special. It was a few years ago. He look up Doug Stanhope football, Doug Stanhope NFL, or Doug Stanhope football.
Oh, the one where he talks about fucking the guy in the ass.
Yeah.
And stuff? Oh yeah. He's like, oh,
Dude,
sweaty. That
I swear to God, dude. I mean, it's
60
just
inches of
you-
AIDS.
yeah, 60 inches of AIDS.
What?
Is that what it is?
6 inches of AIDS. Yeah.
60 inches
Yeah,
of
60
AIDS.
inches
Is it
of
the
AIDS.
John-
on any given
The John Holmes
Sunday.
story?
It's
Yeah.
he oh my God, he just talks about how it's like, you know what, my thing is football, and it's like, oh, I know what you're thinking. Oh, this stupid football is pointless. He's like, you know what? And it's fucking stupid. I realize that, but it's my thing. And then he gives this whole rundown, and he goes into this place where you're like, what
Crazy
in the fuck? And he
Homoerotic.
oh
like,
my God.
You just look at those. You look at those two ass cheeks just rumbling
What?
around in there, and I
Like,
just want to
I
run
watched-
out there on the field and tackle that guy from behind. And fuck, dude, and he's like,
rip off those sweaty
slide my
rips.
cock right. I mean, he gets so fucking.
Dude.
It is
You'll be crying laughing like,
amazing.
what in the fuck?
You're like,
What
Yeah.
is this?
Doug
It's
Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope.
from
It's
his-
just during a stand
It's
up.
from his last
random
Oh,
stand-up thing.
okay. I believe it. If it's Stanhope, he'll say anything.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you think we're just talking about for the last 30
I
seconds?
was looking at something.
Oh.
I didn't hear the name. I was listening to the story. I didn't hear who you said
Yeah.
it was.
Stanhope.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
fucking
And he
hysterical.
talks about grabbing his dreadlocks and
Yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah, there's a racial
make no
undertone, too.
mistake. But he even says it, make no mistake. This is racist. This is a hate crime because you're pretty sure that your wife has fantasized about him doing similar shit to her.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Speaking of Stanhope and the Joe Rogan separation there, whatever you want to call it, I was watching Rogan's recent show with Bill Maher, and Bill Maher was on there to promote the new season of Real Time.
Yep.
And so Rogan was, I don't know if you saw it, Rogan was talking about how he had been approached
Not
by
all of that.
ABC to redo Politically Incorrect.
Yes.
I don't know
did
why I
hear
just
that
had a
part.
stroke there. Politically Incorrect. And Rogan chimed in, and Bill Maher was like, "Oh yeah, are you going to do it?" And Joe's like, "No, absolutely not." He
no.
goes, "Why would I do that?" He goes, "Because it's not the same show." He goes, "You shouldn't take somebody's show and try and redo it." And I was like, "Hello, Man Show season 5.
Yeah.
Why would you just say that? You completely did that exact thing
Apparently,
to
he,
Corolla
I get-
and Jimmy Kimmel."
the only thing I can think of is that he regrets doing it now. And he just goes,
But I'm
"I-
surprised it didn't come
Bill
up.
Maher?
Like, there's
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
When Joe Rogan and
Oh.
Doug Stanhope took over the Man Show,
Oh, they did?
yeah, that season.
I remember
5,
it was Stanhope, but it was Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope, because Corolla and Jimmy Kimmel started it, and it went like
Yeah.
four seasons, and then
I
the-
remember Stanhope on there.
they
that's
fired. They basically
crazy.
fired Corolla and Kimmel, and they hired Joe Rogan and Doug Stanhope to do it, and they did it for one season, and it was an abomination. It was terrible. And Rogan and Stanhope are both funny. It was just one of those things that got touched too much by the network and just got
Holy
completely
shit.
ruined.
I totally forgot about that time in our history.
And then I was listening to
that was a thing.
Rogan talking about, I would never take over someone's show. It would never be the same. And I was like, you
That's
mean
hilarious.
again?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, when I
crazy
think
how
of
it's funny.
Stanhope, I think of what they did to that show. I mean, not that that was like a benchmark in television. It was just one of those shows that you go, God, you could never make that. Can you imagine if they tried to make the Man Show now?
that
It'd
was
be like
so
riots
awesome.
outside the TV station.
They
but
ended every show with girls on trampolines and
oh yeah,
slow
the
motion.
Juggies. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, Doug Stanhope's comedy is hilarious. He's amazing. So it doesn't surprise me that he would talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
But it just makes me think of Rogan. Then it made me think of that thing. Like, dude, you did
Mhm.
take someone's show and ruin it.
Yeah,
All of the
that's funny.
places that he go, it is so fucking genius. The places
Oh,
he
Stanhope.
goes and the things he's like. And then I thought, oh, you know, blah blah blah. You
Just look at how
have
he
to
dresses and where he lives,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
like in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
Arizona, where everyone knows him, and like
Yeah.
bands go on tour and they go stay at his house. and
Yeah.
weird shit like that.
Dude, he does this one about when his mom died, and it just his whole thought process, his state of mind, his way of thinking about things, and the way he feels is just like, what in the fuck, dude?
Yeah, it's
He-
out there.
He basically
ties
put
it
his
together.
mom in hospice, him and his brother or whatever, and just tried to help her go out in style, like all drugged up and fucked up. And they're like, "Come on, mom. I mean, what are you gonna do? We're talking hours here. Let's what?" Because she'd been sober for like fucking 10 years, and he just talked her into swallowing all these fucking pills and chasing them with White Russians.
That
It
is
was like,
awesome.
oh my god, dude! And he just. It was the
It's like
funniest,
Hunter S. Thompson
but
shit.
darkest.
That's a
it was
good
like
idea, though.
the
I think
darkest, but there
Yeah.
was something about it that was beautiful. It was just
yeah,
like,
we should each like have a pact with one another where we have like a cigar box full of just like the craziest fucking shit ever, like heroin and all kinds of pills and shit, and just say, hey guys, look, when any one of us is on our deathbed, like we all hold
As long
them
as it's not
for
like a
each other,
tragic semi-accident.
and the other person has the key or something like that, and it's
Shoot
like,
me up, we wear it around our neck.
yeah.
You have to click it
And they're
together
like-
to make one whole key.
Dude, fucking Jake has cancer, Ira, and shit is terminal. Yep, I know. You think it's time? And Jake goes, guys, I got 1 week left.
Juice me up.
Time for the fucking box. And we bring him the box in the hospital.
So then the
whatever.
first guy that dies gets all the good shit.
No, it's like we all have our own box.
Oh, okay.
We have our
So it's like those pills of the week
our
thing.
deathbed. Yeah. Our
Sunday,
deathbed
Monday.
box. No, it's a big like, and you just open it up and there's fucking baggies of Coke. And
But I
there's-
mean, there's got to be 3 different sets, equally like measured
Oh,
out.
totally, yeah.
Okay.
yeah. But they could be different according to your, your own personal
proclivities.
pleasures.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wouldn't want to have like a shit ton of acid or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would. Maybe Jake, you never know what
That'd
you'd
be the
want.
way.
But just take a shit.
When
ton
you're on
of,
your deathbed, I don't know. Maybe you're just like, fuck it, and it
Just
doesn't
take-
matter now so much
Yeah.
that
You'd
like,
probably
I
think
could
you were
fry
dead before you
balls.
were.
yeah.
You'd probably take it and think that you were dead, and then you come out of it
Yeah,
and be like,
be like,
"Oh,
"I'm
I'm still
fucking
here."
still alive.
Shit.
They do say that after you take a lot of certain psychedelics, that you do accept your death.
Yeah.
Like even when you're your age,
I'll
you
bet
just,
you even mushrooms. I mean, something like that would probably.
yeah.
The deathbed drug pact.
Yeah.
I was watching.
Got to happen.
I was watching something on a.
Although, where do we find cocaine though? I don't know.
Oh, shit!
You
Just
know, guy?
go out the door and say the word. There's a.
Vegas, I guess.
There's a. There was something I was watching the other day on. I think it was Netflix, but they were talking about death, and there was a guy who has been studying or interviewing people right before they, like when they're in hospice, basically, and showing how much people accept, like you said, like just accept they're going to die. But they were interviewing these people, and I guess they were talking about like what is death, and is it like the moment your heart stops, or if you have brain activity. And so they were talking about how Jimmy Carter commissioned some study in the 70s to like redefine what death is, and that's what hospitals go by nowadays. So
What did they used to go by?
it was
Like
like
the heart stop
the
thing?
heart stopping or the brain, if there's no brain activity, whatever. And now it's kind of a combination of those things. And I didn't pay close enough attention to report accurately, but it was a lot more of a gray area now as far as what defines somebody being dead. So they started interviewing all these people, and there's this guy on the East Coast who's been doing this for 10, 15 years, and he's been in all these publications, and his hospice is famous for interviewing these people for the week or a few days before they die. And they start talking about how they're completely lucid and awake in the room, and they're seeing all their other family members who have died, and they're completely at peace with death and all. And I just thought of that when you said adding acid to it. I'd be like, that would be a hell of a party.
Maybe
It'd be
it
one
would,
way
yeah.
to go out.
Yeah, maybe it would. I didn't even think about it that way.
So we need to harken back to woodshop classes and make some cool boxes.
Yep. This
Fuck
needs
yeah.
to happen.
But it's going to be like Wolf of Wall Street shit when you put drugs in it now, and then 40 years from now,
you can't do pills, right? It's like
40
the
years from
lubes. The
now,
lubes
the-
don't work.
the time releases.
Time
you know?
release is
Yeah.
bad. So coming up in a couple of weeks, Jake's doing a music video. Congrats, Jake's.
That's
and
true.
and
Ira's going to
congrats,
be a
Jake.
star.
I'm gonna be a fucking star.
Congrats, Jakes.
I know. Congrats. Oh, we all have autism this morning. I can't fucking talk.
Mhm.
So anyway, I had the thought. So Jake sent me a recording of the single that we're doing, right? And I just thought, like, what? I thought, well, no, that's a great song, but you know what you should do?
Uh-oh.
You should do a video for What's My Age Again by Blink-182, right?
What?
I don't know why. I just thought, how funny would it be if you're like, that's great, but you know what you should do a video for is One by Metallica, right? It's like
Oh.
you can't, it doesn't work like that, Ira. What do you but because I thought about the movie Almost Heroes,
Mhm.
when they're all on the boats and they're ready to go.
Oh yeah, wouldn't it be great to go down the
because-
Mississippi
yeah,
instead of up the Missouri?
Yeah, because he goes, like, all right, we'll be pushing upriver, and they're like, what?
We're gonna go
Against the current? And he's like, well, might it be easy? And he says that, and he goes, ooh, we could go to New Orleans instead. And this
Yeah.
other guy pops in, he's like, oh, I've been to New Orleans. It's amazing. Oh, the food alone is worth the trip. And he's
Yeah, they're like,
and
guys,
we're
we're
like, no, that's not what we're fucking doing. And they're like, they all start going, New Orleans. And they're
I've never
supposed to be-
seen this movie.
Oh
You
my
haven't?
God.
No.
It's
Almost
Chris
Heroes?
Farley's
It's-
last movie.
it's
he
Chris
did.
Farley's magnum fucking opus,
Oh
dude.
God,
No.
it's so fucking
the one
great.
with the eagle and stuff, and he's like, oh yeah,
It's so
we gotta figure
Is
awesome.
this
it
out.
with David Spade too, or without?
It's actually with the dude from Friends. What's his name?
Oh,
yeah.
okay. I have seen that where they're
Lewis and Clark.
like
They're-
yeah.
They're like
yeah.
the guys
Explore-
that
yeah,
are
like
competing
coonskin hats and
against
shit.
Lewis and Clark that you never heard of.
I've seen that movie one time, but definitely don't have any lines memorized.
Oh my god, we've seen it 100 times. We watched
They're
that.
sitting around the campfire, and there's a bear, and everyone's
Yeah.
awake and they're laying still. He's like, "Don't move.
He's like, but my
He's
nose
like, my nose
itches."
itches. He's like, whatever you do, don't scratch it. And he's like, it feels like there's a bug up in there. And he's like, if you scratch your nose, you're dead. And he's like, I don't know what's worse, the bear or my itchy nose. And he's like,
And
no.
then he
He's like,
finally
I'm
goes
gonna
for
scratch it. And the bear's like, "Rah," and grabs him and starts dragging him away. And he's like, the bear is worse. The bear is definitely worse.
It's fucking gold, dude.
So you want
Pure
me to
gold.
shoot a Blink-182 video?
I just,
That's
you
what
know,
you're saying.
I've always liked that song.
So
But-
go listen to it.
So go, yes, and everybody
It's like,
listening,
there's
go check
literally
out-
already a music video.
Yeah.
Blink-182
With
made
a way
one.
bigger budget than what
Yeah.
ours is going to be. With like Gulfstream jets and
So keep up with Jake and his band on social media. The band is called Seven Pistol.
Yep. keep it up.
And you guys check out their
It's
music.
called
there.
Buckshot.
Six Gun, everybody. Six Gun. I'm just kidding. But speaking of, what were we talking? We were talking about dying. We were talking about, what was I?
Sorry, I derailed us.
I was
No,
talking
it's fine.
I had that thought.
with my wife last night about being buried.
We are going to make Ira a
and
video star, though.
embalmed.
You're just not going to show
That's
his
true.
face.
I'm excited.
So
No face.
Can't show this
Um,
face. This ugly mug.
not till the end. It's the reveal. It's the beautiful, reveal when the light.
Oh, there you go.
I come out of a cocoon
Yeah,
as a butterfly.
course.
Starts off as you, and I'm
Mhm.
like blossoming.
Yeah, it's like reverse.
We were talking about people dying and people being buried and all this kind of stuff. And she said she was listening to a podcast because she listens to My Favorite Murder, which is a pretty good podcast.
Just
I'm gonna
not
check-
this podcast. She doesn't like podcasts that much.
No. Yeah, this is not her genre. But she likes
That's-
murder podcasts.
That's why you're
for
still
sure.
married.
And there's one
Yeah.
podcast, and I don't know necessarily if this is true, but I get the impression that as murder podcasts go, this one's top of the heap. So
Okay.
there's
There's that
these
South
two
Park murder
ladies.
porn episode.
Yeah, these two ladies who like used to be one of them used to be on Ellen or something like, or was a producer or something like that. They're kind of have like, some one of them's a stand-up comedian maybe. Like they kind of have LA.
What's
ties
this
and they're
called?
My Favorite Murder.
Okay, go ahead.
And they were talking about people who were accidentally buried alive, right? And it's like, I think we've talked about this before, right? That like where they used to exhume people and stuff, and then they'd find like scratch marks and shit on their hair pulled out and shit because they're fucking buried alive, and they're like, oh shit, we can't do this. We've been burying people, and then they've been fucking coming
Yeah,
alive
they
on
weren't
us.
actually dead because they didn't know how
So
to check their pulse.
That's
or
where
whatever.
modern embalming
What?
came from.
They're not Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstark. They call them comedians, but I'm guessing
Yeah, well, they're open micers maybe or something.
these are
right?
probably the two people that Louis C.K. showed his dick to.
Yep, probably.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's yeah.
They're like, oh, we got our names in the news for 5 minutes. What can we do?
Mhm.
Because otherwise, they're not comedians.
They're
Sorry.
not. I mean, they're women first of all. Which
I'm
is
not saying
Well,
they're,
they're not
super
funny since they're
famous,
women.
but
so.
one of them did work on the Ellen Show or something. Anyway, the whole point
Yeah,
is
as a coffee runner.
they have probably they have a very popular podcast, and they're talking about people being buried alive. And the latest or most recent case of that happening, because this happened a lot back in the 19th century, right?
Apparently, it's pretty popular.
Yeah, I think
They've been winning awards since 2016 when it started and breaking download records.
yeah.
And I know who the demographic is.
Oh yeah. Yes. If you talk to, like, I went through a coffee shop and was talking to the coffee girl in there and stuff, and she said that like she's obsessed with murder documentaries, murder podcasts, murder, all that shit. It's like that's such a thing nowadays for women between 25 and 35.
No fucking surprise that they're like, oh my god, the world is so fucking dangerous.
We're gonna get murdered. Yeah.
And they're all talking to each
You
other.
let
like,
the kids stay home.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, no wonder she yells at you for leaving
Yeah.
the kids home for a few
She
minutes.
doesn't want to go in the woods.
They're
She doesn't
all
want to go
gonna
anywhere
die.
by herself and stuff. She's like, well, we're gonna get murdered if we do that. What's wrong with you?
Jeez.
But the latest case of somebody being buried alive was in Greece in 2014.
I was gonna say that was a really different movie than the one I saw.
I'm like, how the fuck does that? I mean, I understand that it happened back in the 1800s and shit, but
Yeah, they used to put bells on the things
Yeah.
for a while because of that.
and then but apparently, if you listen to that podcast, they talked about how none of that shit worked. It's like they tried their best to get
Yeah.
it to where like something, but even the bell idea.
So what happened
somehow
in
massively failed or
2014?
something. I don't know. Somebody in Greece got buried fucking alive, I guess. And I didn't hear. I mean, that's my wife was talking to me, so I wasn't really listening.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That explains, that explains
No,
a
she
lot.
didn't tell me the whole story. But I just thought that's fucking recent as shit. Can you imagine? Like, what are they not embalming people in fucking
Yeah.
Greece? And she's like, well, I don't really know or something. But apparently that guy didn't. But that's why they
Yeah, well, they just
pump
throw
you full
throw
of
you in a
fucking
hole.
shit, and before they bury you, it's because obviously you can't fucking come alive when you got whatever
Swapping your blood with formaldehyde.
running through your veins. Yeah,
I didn't know that happened that recently.
yeah.
Now
No,
I'm
neither
curious
did
to
I.
hear what happened.
Yeah,
Just like throw him in a wheelbarrow and throw him in the ground. Like, oh no, he's just drunk.
totally.
Yeah, we found him on the sidewalk. That guy's dead. Clearly,
What a fucking way to go.
clearly
though.
dead. Dead as Good Friday. I'm afraid.
That is Good Friday, my lady.
So with all these accents you're throwing out, have you watched Peaky Blinders yet?
Yeah, I went back and started it over again, and it's really fucking good, man.
It's pretty amazing.
Dude,
I
the
just finished the 5th
first-
season. I'm waiting for him to make the
the
6th.
opening. He's riding bareback on that crazy fucking black horse through the town, and you're just like, what the hell is going on? But it's just,
It's
you're like,
it's
this
just
is-
such an intense show.
yeah,
It's like Sopranos in England in 1919. It's pretty intense.
it is.
I highly recommend. Again,
What was the show that we were talking about Bronson last week, right? Or the week before,
Yep.
maybe?
it's on my list. I have yet to watch it, but it's on the list
Yeah.
because I have to pay for it. There's nowhere. It's
yeah,
like
that's
a
weird.
It's a rental. It's Amazon only.
But that actor was in that show that was on FX for 2 seasons. Remember? What was that show called? It was weird because it's like, why is
was-
he on a show?
Taboo.
Taboo. Yeah.
Oh, that was a cool fucking show.
Yeah.
too.
You
That
guys
was a
already,
really good show.
you guys already talked about this.
Yeah,
we
we
did.
did.
So how does Peaky Blinders measure up to Taboo?
It's better.
What? Sacrilege.
No, it is.
Sacrilege and
The writing's
blasphemy.
better. The story arcs are better. I mean, I think Taboo could have been good if it would have kept going.
Totally.
But Peaky Blinders has 5 seasons, so
Yeah.
if you really if you've watched, if you follow it, I think you're more invested in it. But
Right.
And plus, I think that as cool as was it TBS or whoever did the other one,
FX, I think.
FX,
Yeah.
the budget at HBO or Netflix now, I don't know who
Yeah.
owns Peaky Blinders now. The budget is
It's
so
on
much
Netflix for
bigger
sure. Yeah.
that it like it's like you're really there.
Oh, immersive, huh?
That really is.
An immersive experience.
And that actor, whatever,
Yeah, I
is
know who
like
you're talking
he's
about.
been pretty diverse. He's played a Scarecrow and Batman. Like he's played all these different roles where I think this is the most believable in this. Now, if I see him in something else, it'll be like seeing James Gandolfini in that one New Orleans movie, like before he died, and you're like, no, you're still Tony Soprano.
Yeah.
Right,
He can't
right.
play anything else after that.
Yep.
Before we go, I had something horrible happen to me the other day. So
Your wife
I
talked
was,
to you?
I was close, but so I was, I felt like, I was kind of having like a runny nose situation just a little bit. I mean, we all kind of do. You don't really think about how often you
After
through your
you-
nose.
Yeah, well, you rip that line and then it starts to
yeah.
There's that.
Drips in the back of your throat.
Well,
them
so
rat tails, son.
I just happened to be doing that. And do you guys ever have, like, when you do that, you don't realize that there's actually a loose boog in there, and it's a little dry, and so it moves
Yeah.
when you
And you
it
can
goes
feel it.
so much farther than you would have thought. It goes all the way to
Oh,
the
yeah.
back of your
And
throat.
you
You go, fuck. Oh my god.
Yeah, and you make
That
that,
happened-
choice right then. It's like, well, do I swallow?
No.
Ugh.
Nope. You hawked that
Dude,
one
I
out.
just-
Do I- or am I in a place
And
and
I
I'm
just
walking
think-
through the mall and like,
Could you
fucking-
imagine
you don't have a choice.
if you're talking to some hot girl back in the day or something, and you're like, yeah, and you're like, you're just fucking.
I did that one time.
Oh, God.
I accidentally, because I kind of coughed or something, and I hawked up a freaking lug on a chick. It landed.
Oh
and
my
no,
God.
It hit her.
fucking-
It hit her jacket. Like it wasn't like in her face or anything, but it hit her clothes, and it was. I was like,
Is that where you just walk? Did she see it?
yeah.
Oh, okay. It'd be better.
And,
if she didn't
and so
see
did
it.
my friends too. I was with like 3
Oh
guys
my
and stuff, and I
God.
did it. And we're like,
No
"Oh,
fucking
look at you,
way,
just
dude."
fucking did, you fucking douchebag. And I was like, God damn it.
And then you just walk away because there's no.
What do you
recovering.
It was
do?
horrible. Yeah, go get a napkin or something. You're like,
Like, I'm really sorry.
oh, it was horrible. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to
Now you
upstage
have
your
all my
story.
diseases.
That's-
No,
that
but
was it.
Iris thing, like that, you're beyond the point of no return for a farmer blow. If you
Yeah.
take it in and it hits the back of your throat, you can't blow that out. It's only coming out of your mouth.
Yeah. It's
It's so far down.
it can't go back through that. It's kind of like a bee trap or something, right? They go in that little hole. They can't.
It's
get
never
back
gonna
through
find its way back. Yeah,
there.
it's
That's
exactly.
anatomy, fellas.
Whew.
Study it.
So is that your misogyny corner? Is
That's weak.
that you gotta
Um,
gotta come better?
I forgot what I had.
Do you have any
for-
good rants? What happened in your life this week? That's always a good story for Misogyny Corner.
Yeah, somehow.
Just tell,
Ira's
tell us your life.
Ira's life is just misogyny corner.
Yeah, I know. I don't
Okay.
know.
Well, you better do some homework for next week.
I will. I apologize.
You have a double story.
Misogyny corner.
We should have an in-studio guest next week. I'm going to be surrounded by Potters.
Yeah.
I'm fearing for my life.
Little teaser there. More to come.
More to
Maybe-
come, folks.
Maybe we'll get the other Potter to give us some misogyny.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I'm ashamed of you, Ira.
I apologize.
Get it together.
Okay.
See ya.
Love you guys.
All right, now we get to go light our hair on fire and not go to sleep until 4 in the morning.
Not what?
Go to sleep until 4 in the morning tonight.
What's tonight?
Dude, you're probably not even gonna be able to practice, are you?